Hey guys, Steve here from Muscle Talks podcast. Just before we start, I want to remind you of the current giveaway we have with Papa Macros worth $250. Stick around in the podcast or go to our Instagram to find out all the options to enter. Don't forget to subscribe and to never miss any of the updates. Hit the notification button too. Thank you.
Stop scrolling. Do you want to score yourself $250 worth of Papa Macros meals? Now's your chance. Go to threeog.shop or
go to Papa Macros and use the code Muscle Talks at checkout.
Go get it now.
People think IFBB pros, as soon as they get that name, that holy crap, they're at the next level and, you know, I need to hire them. Majority of the time, they're just really good at listening. It was more so just like the creative connection that we all had, which kind of at the end of the day made it what it truly was. Because like there's pictures of us like sitting there discussing, and like you can just see how like just emotionally invested we are in the project itself. Like I went outside, I was running, floor was wet, I turned a corner, slipped, and I had an inch-long gash in the back of my head because I hit a door hinge. Imagine like I'm sitting here talking to you and somebody just press pause. My head goes here, my hands start fidgeting, and then play.
Let's get it rolling. He's two-time Olympian posing coach. Not trying to mention a winner again, but close enough. Bruce Lee said, let me do a Bruce Lee. A motion picture is motion. You got to keep the dialogue down. And Mr. Miyagi said, Daniel-san, karate here, karate here, karate never here. You are karate yes or karate no, not karate guess. The real sensei, you are front posing, quad activation. Knee not over the toe. Having a better back pose, front foot, heel down. Is he a Jedi Knight or Darth Maul? Can he really use a lightsaber, or is it the posing that portrays that? It's written prodigy prep and posing, contest prep, and even lifestyle. He's the sensei in the room, posing sensei, matter of fact. Is it posing here, but not posing here? No dialogue needed for posing, but dialogue to get to know him now. Please help me welcome the real posing sensei, Jacob Pomroy.
That was a hell of an introduction.
I went to all the senseis, Mr. Miyagi from Karate Kid, and then I went to Bruce Lee. I had to pay homage to you, brother. You're the sensei. Anyway, once you see it in back, it's better. But like I said, you would try. Okay. Obi-Wan Kenobi said to Luke Skywalker once, your eyes can deceive you. Don't trust them. So what does this tell you? Also, Chris, what does this tell you? I'll say it again. Your eyes can deceive you. Don't trust them.
I mean, basically, like anything that your eyes can deceive you. To always just be wary of what's in front of you, what you're looking at, what's being presented to you. Like there might be an angle to it. So sometimes you'll see something that's kind of a mirage. It's too good to be true.
It's quite wise words from Obi-Wan Kenobi, being he was a Jedi. What do you reckon, Chris? Oh, Chris, come on, mate, get with the times. Your eyes can deceive you. Don't trust them. Look, I'll tell you what it says. It is true. What we see isn't necessarily true. I mean, how many things do we see on social media that isn't true?
A lot.
Heaps. How many people become overwhelmed by it and actually feel like losers watching everybody seeming like they're successful?
A lot.
And I'd say you yourself, who is opposing, coach at, let's call it an elite level, I'll put money down. You tell me if I'm wrong. There are athletes who are quite successful, still struggling to make success with the limited finances they're giving to dig deep into this business and the grind. So sometimes we don't even know what it takes to actually succeed at the top, do we?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's with anything really.
Mm. Yeah. So that's why I think the eyes can deceive you just because, you know, they've got a great body. You haven't looked at the work they've put into it, or just because they're portraying they're driving a Lamborghini, but it's hired. So I guess that's maybe what I read is your eyes can deceive you. Don't trust them. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Throwback to the epic Star Wars collab with Peter Hardwick during 2023 Mr. Olympia. You said you stayed up till 1 a.m. to finalize that video. Tell us more. Who came up with the idea and who's the big Star Wars fan?
I would say I'm probably more of the Star Wars fan.
Mhm.
I actually have the Star Wars, or the lightsaber that we used was mine.
Mhm.
And I've wanted to do like a posing routine to it, but of
Mhm.
course, like Pete having gone to film school,
Yes.
and I told, like, it literally all started. I'm like, he's like, take a picture of me, and there was a photo of him in my living room right here, and he was just kind of holding it like this, and like it blew up in on his story. Like he had a lot of people message him
Yeah.
and whatnot, and basically from there, I'm like, dude, you want to do a posing routine to this?
Mm-hmm.
And I had found a song, the song that we actually used. It was in one of the reels that I saw, so I'm like, oh, okay, let's use this. Um, but yeah, so I had that lightsaber, and I'm like, oh, I've always wanted to do a routine to it. So yeah, we stayed up until about 1 p.m. or 1 a.m. Finalizing everything,
Yeah.
getting it down to like the like we wrote out a little script for the words
Yeah.
going up,
Yep.
sound
Oh, yes.
effects, everything.
I think it was unreal. And I think there should be more of that. Maybe you guys, I think, you know, you're always trying to find that niche or trying to show off your skills, your art and people to believe that you can create something for them. I think, you know, I think bodybuilding and posing can go to the next level. I think we've got room to go to
Oh
the
yeah,
next level. Yeah.
yeah, and with how social media is going right now, and just like, I mean, with coaching in general, I mean, I have this philosophy. There's good coaches, and there's coaches who think they're good, right? So there's going to
Yeah.
be a lot of, I mean, posing itself is growing for sure. So there's definitely new ideas. There's new people that, you know, are definitely coming up. But then you also got to be very weird, because now they're going to want to try to be posing coaches, and not every person who poses good can be posing coaches.
Well, the thing is, isn't it? I mean, we've seen it in the last decade where the influx of personal trainers. Well, firstly, you don't need any qualification. I mean, you can finish school, never touched any weights, and you can go do a course and become a personal trainer. Like, basically, you've never been a doctor, but doctors take 5 years to become doctors. You can go do a registered PT course that probably takes a couple of weeks, and you're a registered PT. So I think at the end of the day, the what you're telling me, and I've got one of the questions which we can come to, which is now, do you think that, all right, I'm going to sound sexist and I apologize, I'm going to come out with it, right? Newborn mums, wonderful women that bring creation into this world, you know, have hired personal trainers to get them back into shape, which they should and they want to. And when they get back into shape, some of these mums can't go back to work. So they think, oh, I can do a casual job being a PT because now I've trained myself with a trainer to become fit, I can tell other mums to do it. So now we've got this influx of stay-home mums that are personal trainers. And the thing is, what I've realized is you posing coach guys have taught people to pose, and now they've decided, I'm going to start posing all the single mums too now, and everybody now. Everyone's going to become they need posing coaches. So now we all need posing coaches. So I feel this industry needs to regulate. Because why I'm saying it needs to regulate, because I'm confused. And I think then Obi-Wan Kenobi saying makes sense. What you see can deceive you. So hence, what do you think about that?
Yeah.
Everyone's got posing schools. Everyone's got posing studios now.
Yeah. I mean, like, and I talked about this the other day about like resources. Like I don't have, like the like big name gyms, like, I live in Florida, but I don't live near like Redcon 1 or MI40 or anything like that. Like I have a little studio down there.
Yeah.
And I record my videos down there. Luckily they have a wall with a mirror, but like sadly I don't have an actual computer. It's just a laptop that I hook up to a second screen. That laptop does not convert well with my camera. So I would totally take professional videos. Can't until I get a new computer.
Well,
right.
But the thing,
but,
yeah. Go on.
Like I don't have, it's like the resources thing. Like I don't have the extra money to be paying a videographer so odd many, dollars a month or per shoot or whatever like that. So, but part of the reason, like you're talking about, like people, okay, I got help by this person, so now I can coach this and this.
Yeah,
and this.
that's what's happening.
That's part of the reason. So I have my Prodigy Posing Academy.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I saw a lot of feedback. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been trying to, that's one of the things, and that's where the philosophy of there's good coaches and there's coaches who think they're good, right?
Yeah.
A lot of times, like the people who think they're good are the individuals, and this is specifically for posing, are the individuals who can pose, but they can't teach.
Yeah.
Right.
I agree.
That's a big misconception. It's like, I mean, shit. We look at people think IFBB pros, as soon as they get that name, that holy crap, they're at the next level, and I need to hire them. Majority of the time, they're just really good at listening. Not everybody.
Yeah. No. It's okay to be a good listener, man. You want to know what you're good at.
Yeah. Well,
that's what makes you a champion.
Level,
that's what can make you a champion. That's why there's that's why there's Hani and there's Hardy.
Yeah, exactly. So like, it's one of those things where it's people have to understand that it is a whole different ball game than, oh, hey, I went through some sessions with this person, so now I'm going to take the knowledge that they told me that I'm going to skew and try to teach other people, right?
It's all the
versus
money. They see money, bro.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But that's why, like, I really want my posing academy to like blow up.
Yeah.
It's just, I really want it to take grasp this year. I have 3 people under me right now. It's kind of like a at you go pace, kind of like if you, like some of the health courses out there, it's kind of like as you go. So like they don't have to schedule weekly, but it's like I give them the resources. I go over every single pose, every single, like for men's physique, there is literally 5 different front poses that you can hit.
Yeah.
And people don't understand that, right? But now it's being able to teach all that, the intricacies, the angles, the shifts, the rotation, how everything's supposed to be oriented to make it look executed and not hit.
Yeah.
Right? Because there's a difference between hitting a pose and executing a pose. Anybody can hit a front double, just half-assed, right? Anybody can hit a side chest, half-assed. But hitting it half-assed versus perfectly executed on stage, that's the difference.
I
that
think
people
you
don't
know what.
understand.
Yeah, I think that's what's for me now. That's daunting, but if you're taught right, it's not daunting.
Exactly. Yeah. And then, I give after they complete a module with me, because I do every single division except bikini and wellness. In the future, maybe we'll see. It's just not my cup of tea. But to each their own. But my goal is I really want to change the industry in regards to that, because like I said, there are good coaches and there are coaches who think they're good, because when you are able to coach somebody in depth versus like, oh hey, I learned this from this person, like those one-off things are definitely warranted. Like, hey, don't drop your chin when you're doing a rear pose, like a rear double bicep or a rear lat spread. Like, oh hey, I remember my coach told, but then it's like that one little off thing versus, okay, so we're going to shift this, have you do this, rotate this out, and, starting from the ground up, I call it combination lock method, where it's like you're starting from the feet to the knee to the hip, thoracic cavity, shoulder girdle, arms, head, like sight. You fuck one thing up, you got to restart that combination lock. Right?
Yeah, no, I'm still trying to work out what you're looking at. I was looking at all your posts, and I'm looking like that looks okay to me. But when you structure it and you talk about it, like the funniest one, I used it on your intro where you said he was doing a lat spread, and it was the rear lat spread, right? And he had his heel up, and that was the front heel up. Little did I know that fuck. And then I looked at the and then I looked at the other post where his heel's down, and I could see such a difference. Yes, and I could see
that was
I could see he's not so pulled back so hard. He's actually
that was I was talking. It's Brady King.
Yeah, I think so. Yes,
he's an open bodybuilder. Me and him were talking at the Olympia. I was sitting there with Chelsea and Brady and Martin Fitzwater.
Yeah.
At the MIT 45 booth at the Olympia. So I was just chatting with them all Saturday, and we were just talking, and then I noticed something, and I'm like, yo, hey, I pointed that out. I'm like, you have a bad tendency of doing that. And like we had discussed and whatnot, and I just recommended, he doesn't do it on his rear double bicep, but he does it on his rear lat spread for some weird reason.
Yeah.
And afterwards, like it was day and night.
Yeah, it was. I could see the difference. And you showed off a front. I think it was a front double bicep pose, and it showed the guy's knee going over the toe, but when it was pulled back and more quad hit, it just looked amazing.
Oh, you're talking about Terrence Ruffin.
Yeah. I did research, mate.
Yeah,
I was fucking doing this till 3 a.m.
Yeah, that's dedication, man. Yeah, but specifically with that one, like I noticed a picture, and I'm like, well, that looks a little different, because now he has a lot of definition here, and I was like, oh shit, like all he did was he shifted this a little bit, so I was like, I might as well talk about it. But that's kind of going into like that evolution of posing. Like everybody has their own evolution, right? So like the post that I just recently did with Bumstead.
Well, let me say it. I've got it here. Can I ask you the question I'm going to ask? Because it is my next question. Yeah. All right. 17th of February, you posted CBum, or at CBum, the other way outside, is a great example of evolving his posing over time and playing at his strength. Posing is always about your strengths, and as of recent, in the last few years, he has done just that. But wait, this is my question. That's what you wrote. My question is, does time give you confidence? And does size help there too? Because he's dramatically fucking changed. You know what I mean? So my question is,
Well-
where you can elaborate further, is, well, is confidence a key factor, obviously, and size? I mean, his side, that side, what do you call it? The where you're pushing up the chest. What do you
Side
call
chest.
that one? Side chest.
Side chest.
I mean, the fucking shoulders and the chest has changed dramatically.
Well, so in that, I mean, yeah, the time with I can't talk. With confidence, with time comes confidence.
Yes. Yes.
But I mean, yeah, you also got you have to look at the evolution of his physique over the past, 5 years.
Yep.
But the one thing I will tell competitors is the more you pose and the more you get an understanding of your body as you continue to pose, you're going to get more confidence. I've had people work with me for 2 weeks, and I've had people work with me for almost a year. Chelsea worked with me for almost 4 to 5 months.
What does that mean?
Because she spent time building up more confidence, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So
Well, I've realized, muscles don't come in a week. Muscles come through time. And I think a posing routine to make those muscles work with you in a routine, I think it's nearly just about. I think every year you just get better at it as long as you keep putting in the time and the work. Yeah.
Yeah, and you get more confidence in how you are executing poses. So again, with Chelsea, I think I started working with her at the end of June, and the Olympia was in November.
Yeah.
So you got, July, August, September, October. So that's almost 4.5, 5 months that we worked together, right? And that's somebody at the Olympia level, at the top level, who's actually taking their shit seriously. And we were able to make, we changed her rear double. We switched legs. Her side tricep, she always hit with her right side because, well, that's how she normally hit it. Yeah. Well, the upper body on both sides looked exactly the same, but on her left side, she had more hamstring pop. So I'm like, okay, well, let's switch it and have you hit it on your left side, same side that you hit your side chest on.
Oh, the myths show. Yes.
Right.
Is that also when, I think C-Bum mentioned it too, and I didn't know that. I didn't know that you could bring a weaker, or you could protect a weaker body part by knowing how to pose. So I guess you said,
oh yeah,
your right side won't portray to the judges what your left side does. So let's go with the left and hide your right at the moment.
Well, that's 100%. The same thing with her rear double bicep, right? So previously she had, when she competed, she always had her left foot back, right? And she had absolutely no adductor activation, right? Now, fast forward to, I think we were looking at it, and I was thinking about having her switch legs just to try it out, see how it, fared well. And she beat me to the punch. She sent me a photo. She's like, so I tried this out. I'm like, yeah, because I'm going to be transparent. Like, it was at the top. It was at the top of my head. Like, I was going to say something about it, but she beat me to the punch. Right.
That's great. But actually, you're evolving her.
Exactly.
You've got a thinking. So you've got a thinking.
Yeah. So we were able to do that, and I did a post where I draw like basically a dotted cross, and you could see the difference in where the hips were and everything, and she looked like fucking 30 pounds heavier on the right.
Right.
Versus the 2022 Olympia versus the photo that I used was from the European Championship. Europa Pro that she ended up getting her Olympia qualification at.
Yeah, no, she's actually going for, I think she's going to be top 3, probably top 2, the way she's going.
Yeah, and she's taken this year off.
Yeah, completely. She needs to. I think she needs to for many reasons. I'm not saying I'm fucking no coach. I've got no idea. But after talking to her, I think if she can, I think she needs to build on things, and she knows what she needs to build on and that needs time. That's why I don't think anyone in bodybuilding understands, especially young people or anyone getting into it, that every decade's a new decade. Every year is a new year, but especially time. Time is the grind. I don't know. Like I said, it happens when you least expect it. Like sometimes you don't even know it, how good you look when it's too late. When you look back and you go, fuck, I didn't pay enough attention to my time. So it's definitely, you know, she's, I think, like I said, but her attitude, her brand, a lot of things about her, she's actually business-like as well, which I like, which I find that from you as well. I think the mistake a lot of people make in bodybuilding and also in entertainment, I've spoken to Chris about this with my daughter. I keep mentioning, I don't know, I try to mention it anymore, but when you're doing a solo sport, solo, well, I'll give you an example. I'm in business. Guess what that is? Solo. So when I'm solo, I'm in business to make money because that pays me to be solo. So if you're a solo bodybuilder, solo competitor, solo, that's what you want to do, you're going to have to learn business. So you're going to have to market yourself and build brand. So I think Chelsea's doing that. Hence you too. I know, I can see that, man. I've got many questions about you. Don't worry. Well, you start at the top with entrepreneur, but I haven't seen your private jet or your own big yacht. But until then, I'll call you entrepreneur.
Yeah, trust me, I'm working on something.
Don't worry. I believe it. Did we finish with CBum? I guess we did. Did we not? Or did we? Yes, I think we did. All right.
Yeah,
11th of...
I mean,
sorry. Go on.
I was just gonna finalize it as, yeah, I mean, essentially over time, the more and more you pose, the more you understand your body, the more confidence you're gonna get. Of course, with the evolution of your physique, you are gonna gain more muscle. Henceforth, you're gonna, of course, fill in the gaps and be able to just, again, understand your body a whole lot better. And over those 5 years from 2017 to last year's Olympia, he got a very good understanding of what looks good and what doesn't. Doing this versus opening up, I mean, doing it like a really wide, like almost kickstand like, versus almost like a quasi bodybuilding front double, game changer. So, yeah.
It just dawned on me. Do you think he's besides being the most popular sportsman at the moment in bodybuilding, do you think he's done it for the reasons being he's competing against nobody himself? Like he doesn't go up on stage and he doesn't look like he's a rock star. He's got this humble, confident. It's like it's him against him. I think the rest are trying to eat him alive, and he's like, you know, he's just into him. Like meaning he's good. It's different. I've seen the stage turn into a rumble, but he's seemingly giving everyone room. He gives everybody room. They're all trying to take his space, but they just can't take him out.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's confidence. I mean, he knows like somebody's gonna have to be just unfucking real.
Yeah.
To beat him on either that or he comes off 1%. If he's off that 1% and somebody just beats him, I mean, a lot of people talk about like, and I'll pick on Ramon here for a second.
Yes.
Phenomenal physique, beautiful.
Yeah.
But his posing fucks him every time.
I agree. He looks robotic.
Well, he overdoes stuff.
Yeah. Oh yeah, overdoes it. Yeah. There's no grace.
Right?
That's why I said a bit of robotic.
Yeah.
I mean, that's layman's terms. I don't know how else I can word it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, the best way I describe it is like just he over poses and doesn't pose to his strengths, right? So, and this goes for any competitor.
Could be the Brazilian in him.
Yeah, or just lack of posing.
I could put him onto a posing coach. I mean, there's a guy called the Real Posing Sensei. Are you listening?
Who does not speak any Espanol.
Listen, man. Chat GPT actually helped me do one of the questions on the hot topics today. I actually asked Chat GPT, so we can talk about it. That's why I'm saying to you, I feel that CBum gives everyone the stage. He does it in a way. I don't know how he does it, but But
he gives everybody the stage because he knows, like,
he owns it.
they're all they're all fighting for second.
Yeah, they are. They are,
Like-
man. They are. That's pretty unique, you know. I like the style.
Yeah.
I like the style. Okay, let's go with this. 11th of September, 2022. The NPC Ironman contest. Amazing return, by the way. Remain humble today, but no means ended how I would have liked it to. I will do a more detailed post tomorrow. Tell us about the detailed post and what happened.
Well, I'll keep it not in depth.
Yes, go.
But let's just say, at the beginning of the prep, I had my prep coach, and then business wise, he had to transfer me to one of the other coaches that was on the team that I was actually a coach for. And this was Atlas Nutrition. They're no longer a company anymore. That's for various other business decisions and stuff like that. But he had to take over the company because he bought out the other co-owner at the time. So he had to take over the company and transfer me to this one coach. Well, this one coach, I ended up having to switch back to my original coach 2 weeks out because I literally lost 13 pounds of water in 2 weeks because we'll just say from that side of things, he fucked me up.
Yeah, well, you can't put it lightly. That's fucked up. Especially especially at such a critical time.
Yeah. Well, just panicking. And honestly, I could care less because he's blocked on everything, but he completely fucked me up.
Listen, man, if he helps ratings, we'll say fucked as many times as you like.
Yeah.
Like I said, the truth is what I want. So that's what we're about. So like I said, so all right, so it was literally you were compromised.
Yeah. I mean, like, fuck, if I wouldn't have, I'll put it lightly like this. I normally always get heighted at like 5'10". They got me at 5'9" and 3/4. I told them I normally get heighted at 5 to 10. Had me height again, and I made it, and he gave me the weight cap. So I'm like, if it wasn't for that little quarter inch of whether I was like squeezing my butt cheeks or something, like I wouldn't have competed that day. Because I could have lost another 10, 15 pounds. I was lean. I had the biggest legs up there, but like shape wise, if I would have been leaner, if I would have been 10 to 15 pounds leaner and just kept that size and not had a fucking screwy end of prep where I was legit. I didn't take on any clients for 2 weeks. I became a hermit. And I was listening to classical music like all day, every day, trying to just keep my heart rate down, work out, get what I needed to get done.
So you were just holding the scales and you were hugging him next to your bed, and then you're sitting in corners crying with the scales, and then you're in the kitchen with the scales, and then you were sitting on the couch quietly on the scales in the dark, and then you'd walk down the street while it was raining with the scales, and the classical music kept.
Yeah, no, it felt like that, but like, yeah, it was. That's part of the reason. That's part of the reason, like
tissues to each other, like everything.
Yeah. No, but that's part of the reason why, like, it honestly, like, I know because like I'm 26, almost 27, and like right now is like, as a bodybuilder, like right now is very critical, like where my age is at. But I might not compete for another, I don't know, 2 years, year and a half, 2 years. Like, I have no desire to compete right now.
Yeah, but you've got, to be honest, I think I was telling you, you got no idea when you touch 30 it's another shift. It's a whole different muscularity. It's a whole different testosterone level. Like if you keep training, that is, I know from keep training, but the shift at 30, the shift up when I turned 30 it was just tough. The body was different. It was like just not as soft. It was meaning, I don't know what happened. The muscle just changed and everything was popping. Yeah, muscle maturity. It was a tougher meat, but it was a good meat, if that makes sense. It's just a matured meat.
Well, so, that's like when you like when you always meet like older guys who like don't have a lot of muscle, but they're just strong as a fucking bull.
Yeah. You see them and they've got like you got
that it's old man strength.
Yeah,
right? So it's just that muscle maturity and the ability to like you said, it's the muscle is meatier, it's more dense, it's harder.
But I do believe this. Hear me out. I do believe that if you chemically induce yourself from very early on and constantly have utilized that to break records, that there'll be a point when you reset, you'll look like you've never trained. You don't understand the long game. No one understands that if you love bodybuilding, the finishing line is when they're digging your gravesite. That's if you're training till then. You're never going to finish. It never finishes. There's no finish line in bodybuilding. There's never a finish line because nature itself pulls you back. Like it says, you're not exerting, you're not resisting, you're not lifting. Well, gravity's going to take over. It's always going to do that. And I think if you've built it artificially, which is okay, like you can, do your cycles, you can do whatever, you can tap her in, but nothing beats consistent, natural, hard work. And I'll tell you something, I don't know if you've noticed it, forgive me, the Olympians, but there are some guys in Australia, some Olympians that have hit the highest literal accolade in the world. And when I see him today, I think, where the fuck are those calves? Where the fuck are those biceps? What happened? They were huge. And I've seen, and I'm saying, to be honest, I didn't have calves. And I've got calves now. Don't ask me why. I didn't ever have calves in my 20s. I didn't have them in my 30s. But at 50, my calves have come good because I keep fucking turning up. I keep hitting the motherfuckers. You know what I mean? I'm stubborn, but I haven't done it chemically. I have taken a cycle once when I turned 50. I've already told everyone this, right? I did two cycles in 50, between 50 and 51. I wanted to experience it, but I've never done it after that, right? But what I'm alluding to is I see things happening now that fucking have taken 3 decades to come good. I said, where the fuck have you been all my life? So nothing beats hard work. You know what I mean? So I'm saying to you, you're going to be surprised just the effort you put in, that you'll go like, I'm ready now. Actually, I was premature before. I'm actually ready now. So yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, and like for the training part, like I still like, my training right now is kind of pulled back a little bit just because I'm trying to recover from some injuries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like I still train hard. Legs, I only train once a week right now just because again, I'm trying to recover from an injury, which actually happened when I was on vacation. But also military wear and tear and just so.
And the other thing is, there is no. I just recovered from a flu. I had the flu on the weekend, so I got the flu on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I went back to the gym last night. So last week I was training great. So I just had the flu Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I went yesterday. You know what I did yesterday? Lightweight movements. And guess what? I'm going to do that all week. And guess what? It's so refreshing. Because you know why? Yeah. Because I'm still in 2024. So I've got any stage to go hard again, to lift heavy. So just because you've decided through injury, I told Chris, he had a shoulder injury, and I said, don't train it for 12 weeks. Train everything else. Don't train that for 12 weeks. He goes, what the fuck? 12 weeks? I said, don't touch it. If you are going to touch it, just air swings, like do air movements, whatever it is. Just don't touch it. Well, that was a year ago or so, and his shoulder's good because it's forever. In other words, you want to get it now, mate. What happens if you can't do it later? So everyone seems to smash themselves out and not think, can I, like, I've got no injuries. I can push what I pushed in my 20s. But there are moments where I've gone through the year or two and literally light and bright, just enjoying myself quietly in the gym because I'm not finished. I'm just not finished. Like, I think everyone thinks there's a finish line in bodybuilding. There is no, get it? There is no finish line. You just want to turn up and literally like a graph, you want to have little shots at the top, navigate a bit down, shoots to the top. But if you keep going like that, you end up withered and sore and broken. But it's not work. That's not bodybuilding. I think we said to you, bodybuilding is a bit of vanity. You want to look good. You want to be spunky. You know, I think that's what it is. Like, you know, and it's always nice when someone tells you look amazing in that suit, or that shirt looks great on you, or you're at the beach and someone says, wow, look at you. You know, you're doing okay. And you go, yeah, thanks. But there's some years I've missed summer, so no one's seen me at the beach. It's usually, you know, a rashie. I'm wearing a rashie because I've got my own little love handles going. You, Robbie, and Kai Greene doing, please enjoy our creative interpretation of bullet with butterfly wings. So I've got a question. Please tell me in detail how that experience was, who came up with the idea, because I did ask Robbie this question. We had Robbie on, by the way. Who came up with the idea, choreographed it? And I know this ain't easy because you've got 3 people coming together, so you all need to turn up and do the work. So tell me how this unfolded.
All originally Robbie. So I remember she had gone to an expo. She took like a leap of faith and went to this expo, met him, talked with him, came up with the idea. They were discussing yada 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 for a little bit there, and then she told me about it, and I was like, yeah, no, she had told me about it, like it was kind of in the talks, and I'm like, wouldn't it be crazy? And then
Boom.
It happened. No, it's still one of the greatest, like from a bodybuilding perspective, like, because we always have these different paths and like experiences and stuff like that. Like, you know, for me, you know, like, of course, and this is completely unrelated, but like one of my most favorite experiences of my life is snorkeling with manta rays in Hawaii in the ocean. Right?
They're big, aren't they? They're big.
But like, oh, bro, I had 2 touch my chest and 1 touch my leg, and you can't do shit.
They can kill you. You know that.
Yeah.
Well, they killed Steve Irwin. They killed our man.
No. That's stingrays.
What?
These are manta rays.
What are manta rays?
Think like stingrays on steroids, much bigger without the stinger.
Fuck off, really? Oh God. Okay, you're going.
Yeah, manta rays are like probably 3 to 4 times the size of a stingray.
Why did you do that for?
Well, we were there on vacation, and it was they paid for an excursion thingy, so I'm like, cool, I'll do it. Probably greatest experience of my life.
How was your heart rate?
Oh, shit, bricks.
Yeah.
But like taking that experience, right? So that's a big experience for me.
Yeah.
Shovel that into bodybuilding and fitness. That's seeing my routine up on stage on the Olympia stage and doing that choreography, that project with Robbie and Kai are 2 of the best things in bodybuilding that I've had thus far. Right.
Oh, and you're 26, man. Wow.
Yeah. So being able to do that, like, not only did like, when I was starting to lift and whatnot, and they had just come out with Generation Iron, and you know, watch the good old day in the life of Kai Greene, and you know, just
Yeah.
watching all these movies. But like, I was like, fuck, that's cool. And then like him and he's actually a big reason why I got into bodybuilding,
Yeah, of
right?
course.
Like I would because I was in wrestling, I would watch a bunch of like motivational videos, and of course like bodybuilding videos would pop up and whatnot, and you know, getting Ronnie Coleman saying, yeah, but you know, just all this motivation videos up the wazoo, and you know, then I'm sitting here, I'm like chilling with Kai Greene, somebody who I've looked up to since I started working out. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, the first time I saw him, first time I met him, we're sitting in the hotel room and he just walks in and like, I'm just like, I'm like trying
Yeah.
not to lose my shit. And I'm
Yeah.
like, holy fuck, this is real.
Yeah.
No, but he is an extremely genuine person, and the experience itself was just unreal. And being able to like the idea was Robbie's to pull
Yep.
this all together, but to create the full essence of the actual project itself, like it took all three of us, right?
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Um, swinging and bouncing ideas off one another. So it was like, okay, well, you know, like certain parts of the video I had um, thoughts on, and certain parts of the video she had thoughts on. Same with Kai. And then we're like, okay, we're looking at like the gun part, like the
Mm.
like loading the gun and shooting. Like we had all thought about like, oh well, it's a gunshot, that'd be cool. And then like I'm coming up with different like parts of the choreography she is. So it was just like that was over the course of like 3 to 4 weekends that we went down to Boca, stayed there for the weekend, you know, just enjoyed ourselves, and um got it recorded. And after it was all said and done, like it was, I mean, it's there, it's on record, it's, you know.
Yeah. I feel though that somehow it's sure Robbie would have said to Kai, "Can we do this?" And he's like, "Yeah, yeah, we'll do it." But the follow through, the turning up, the commitment, there had to be something special between the three of you going on, because hear me out. Don't make me, I'm not going to sound, it's going to sound a bit rude what I say, but in bodybuilding, he's the elitist. All right. Well, let's just say that he can do it with anyone. I'm sure there's some elitist posing people, not coaches, but anything that's going on in this world. But there must have been some kind of creative connection between the three of you, because he's quite the creative person. So I think there was definitely an investment that was more the synergy between the three of you than anything else. Do you think so?
Yeah, I mean, there, like he did a project similar beforehand.
Yep.
I'm not gonna say, but he didn't enjoy it as much as he did with us.
Well, I'll tell you something just quickly, not segue. This podcast, you've probably noticed how much research I've done so far, like to
Yeah.
have these conversations. No one understands the work you do behind the scenes and the work you do to turn up. This is easy. Me and you talking now is the easy part. That's easy. This is,
Yeah.
but I want you to walk away, and I want to be, if not the best podcast you've been on, but I want you to at least say, you know, he fucking turned up. This guy gave me a podcast. You know what I mean? Like, I think Kai Greene knew that too. That's what I'm saying. Like, whatever you do, you turn up, and you don't want, you want to be better than the one he did, or better than the next person. And if you're going to set a standard that can be broken, great. Set a standard that is hard to break, but if they break it, think, wow, that must be a pretty good routine if they broke it, you know?
Yeah, and it was more so just like the creative connection that we all had, which kind of at the end of the day made it what it truly was. Because like there's pictures of us like sitting there discussing, and like you can just see how like just emotionally invested we are in the project itself.
Yeah.
And then showing up over the course of 3 to 4 weekends.
I think, yeah,
Being,
like I said, it showed. Do you still talk to Kai Greene?
not like I saw him at the Olympia and we said hi. Like it was funny story. He's sitting at the trifecta booth. I'm walking out the doors this way and I see him. I'm like, oh, hey, I'm going to sit here because there's this massive line going like this.
Yeah.
All the way over to the wall. And he's sitting right here. I'm just standing off to the side. He gets done talking to the people here, looks at me. He's like, you're next. Walks over to me, gives me a hug. He's like, thanks for coming, dude. It's super awesome to see you again. I'm walking out the doors and I just see everybody go,
I hate
motherfucker.
You. Yeah. Well, look, I'm gonna speak to Robbie, but listen, if you do see Kai Greene, can you just say there's some motherfuckers in Australia doing a very basic podcast? They don't have many viewers, but they would love to have you on. Could you do us a favor? Would you just name drop us?
Yeah.
Oh, he said yes. Chris, he said yes. Mate, we've got that recorded, all right? We've got that recorded.
I'll try.
Oh, now I'll try. He'll probably tell us next week to edit that out. You know the bit I said yes about Kai Greene? Can you edit that out? I'm going to bring it up like 10 times now, and we're going to have to edit a lot. Tell us about 2023. It seemed like a good year. Plenty of competition you attended as a coach. I'm assuming a posing coach. I saw Chelsea, Robbie, Peter, Kai Greene, heaps more kissing, your girlfriend, the dumbbell hanger. I'm going to bring up the dumbbell hanger. But tell me about your 2023.
2023, it was good. Definitely my best year thus far. Of course, hoping 2024 just keeps on topping every single year. But 2023 in general, definitely a lot of firsts. I had been to the Olympia before, but that was for finals. Saturday? No, Saturday was class. No, I can't remember. I went with my buddy Jarek Crew. We were actually business partners at the time, but we went together in 21. But I didn't do like the expo or anything, so it was like, definitely that Olympia week was just huge for me.
Tell me something, because you're a coach, are you allowed to go backstage?
No.
I thought I'd ask that question.
No, unless you want to literally chop off an arm and a leg.
Oh no, we don't want that to happen.
Yeah, no. But like, there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that, like, with Chelsea, I had two competitors. So I had Julie Whitesell, and then I had Chelsea. But I'd only met with Julia briefly, help fix her quarters and mandatories. But we only worked together for 2 weeks. So it was just kind of like a polish up towards the end of prep. Made a lot of progress. I know she's going to be stepping on stage here soon. I think within like the next few months. But Chelsea, I'd been working with for months. So she was part of a documentary. And I'm in it multiple times, and they were like, I got mic'd up the whole taboo. When we were that Olympia weekend, we were doing check-ins and like meeting with her in person, going over stuff. And so that was like an experience in its own. After finals, we went to Five Guys and had a camera crew there. I'm like sitting there, I'm just like, I just want to enjoy my food.
but the thing is, your excuse me, your
exposure.
It sounds like 2023 was the next foundation built in relation to now coming into 2024. You're gonna have to build on what 2023 was, not what 2022 was, not what whatever foundation, it was a new foundation, it was a new build. Now, whether that's paying you the dividends you deserve, I think it warrants to go to the red direction you want to create. So I think,
Yeah.
So I think when I look at your 2024, if I was to think to invest in you, bank on you for myself in relation to a competition or what I want to achieve in competition, especially at the high level, I mean, you've probably signatured that right now. So you're probably showing that accordingly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, it seems like a good year. I've got to ask you, this dumbbell hanger thing, what is it? What's that?
So we are patent pending. We're trying to get it out to market right now. So if you got connections. But no, so basically it was an idea that I originally had for a few years. I know there's products similar to it, but for years, like I've thought about like what's like one of the basic injuries that people get
Yeah, throwing the
when they're
dumbbells
kicking up dumbbells and because I've had it happen to me multiple times where it's just like, oh shit, that fucking hurt, right? Or like you try to kick something up and it's like,
I'm feeling it at the moment. Actually, I can't even put the dumbbells back. I'm actually feeling it now when I move that. I feel the right side seems to have that wear and tear that you're talking about.
Yeah. So there's other stuff like it out there, but just looking at like certain like reviews and stuff like that, safety issues. Like I said, originally it was my idea, and I was I had this thought, and my buddy, he's a mechanical engineer, so he's the co-founder. It was my idea, but I mean, he truly made it happen. Because that side of stuff, like I had the idea, like I understand like the anatomical, more so like the fitness side of things. He also bodybuilds, but he's a mechanical engineer. He can literally build a plane from scratch on through a CAD model, just for shits and giggles. He built an Aston Martin from the ground up.
From what?
For fun.
What do you mean for fun? Built this? What do you mean by that?
On CAD. That's where you can like CAD models. So essentially our invention.
3D what?
3D. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it's called CAD model. So it's basically when you see stuff being created digitally,
yep,
before it's even like physical, that's like your 3D, your CAD models, right?
Wow.
So he's a. I was gonna say, so he's a mechanical engineer. He made that happen. But basically, what it is at its foundation is it's a self-racking dumbbell mechanism, right? So it hooks onto a barbell, and essentially think of, instead of racking a barbell on the rack, it attaches to the barbell, and now you can unrack dumbbells and then rack them, right?
Yeah, no.
So it's a strength training accessory, is what it is what we want it to be, and it'll help people, and like from bodybuilders to Special Olympics to CrossFit to power, it's like all these different, especially like DIY gyms, your at home gyms, right? So
I mean, I see the process. It reminds me of I used to be quite imaginative and have created many things. Hence, maybe why you're 26 and believe it will work. Sorry, it's just a joke. But let me tell you something. Let me give you a tip. Tip from Steve knows it all. Let me just get him in the room. Steve knows it all. Come in the room. Steve knows it all. The thing is, patent pending, just stick with that, man. I'll tell you why. Patenting will make you broke, and patenting doesn't guarantee the business will work. The Chinese, Indians, whatever, they'll copy it. What happens is it's about making the next model better. It's all about evolution of the next model kind of thing. So what I mean by that is And it's hard to sell. You know yourself. Great idea. It can work. Oh my God, why don't they understand it? Oh, how do you make it cost effective? But waiting for patent is basically just giving solicitors a job. I'm telling you. So just don't bother waiting for it, man. Don't even go for it. Just do it. Because the most important thing is I want it to work for you. Don't get me wrong. I see the point. I see it. But don't wait for it, because you can patent it, spend tens of thousands on it, and it doesn't work. You might as well just risk it and let the Chinese try to copy it. If they copy it, it works, and you're going to make it work because of the quality.
Stop scrolling. Do you want to score yourself $250 worth of Papa Macros meals? Now's your chance. Go to threeog.shop or
Go to Papa Macros and use the code MuscleTalks at checkout.
go get it now.
So yeah, I don't know what bit you didn't get, but let me just start again quickly. Don't worry about the patent. Just go for it, because the patent's not going to protect you. I'll tell you why. A few things. One, it's just solicitor money, man. It's just payment money. The Chinese or anyone around the world can make a slight variation. They could put a lip on it. They could put a lip on your hangers, and they're going to get away with it. It could be exactly the same thing, but they've put a lip. Your patent ain't going to do jack shit. Second thing, to sue a big company, they're going to run you broke while you sue them. So my thing is, you run the race. Before they mimic you, before they copy you, before they do anything, you go pedal to the metal and you stay ahead of the game. Stay ahead of the game on customer service, on price, on evolution. And that's my tip for you. Because you invest thousands of dollars and it doesn't work, you best not put thousands of dollars in and see it not work. That's better, a better deal. And that's my advice, because
stay patent pending.
Stay patent pending, never change it. Don't worry about it. Don't fucking go for patent.
Yeah. Well, and like the new age mouthpiece, right? They just officially became patented. They were patent pending for a long time. But like you get like a lot of like rogue stuff is consistently patent pending.
Yeah.
The Mag grips that everybody uses.
Yeah.
Patent pending.
Yeah. Like I said, it's not like it's all bullshit, man. Just solicitors, man, just want to take our money. But look, I think it's a great idea. I think, just go for it. Like I said, but it's funny to communicate great ideas to people, but I see your point, because like I said, my shoulder's hurting. I have another
slap tears or rotator cuff tears. The fourth most common strength training injury.
That's what you have. Oh, Chris has that. Okay. So do you train athletes outside of posing? Are you a personal trainer as well?
Yeah, I have a few. Majority of my coaching is posing, but I do have I would say like a total about 3, pretty soon 4, just like coaching clients. Just because I figured, especially with 2020, like I had a few people that I prepped this last year, did quite well. But it's you got to go with your niche. Like, do I enjoy like the coaching side of things? Yeah. But posing wise, like that's my niche. That's what I'm very good at. So that's where most of my money is going to go towards.
I think stick with what you love. Okay, interesting topic time, guys. Interesting topic time. Okay, here we go. Are electric cars the answer? Will we comply? Or what if you're just a good old-fashioned petrol-smelling rev head like me? Don't we have to mine for these batteries, like the lithium? Don't we have to mine for this? And disposing these batteries, years later, how's that good for the environment? So what do you think about these electric cars, Sensei?
I mean, they're fucking fast.
Here we go. Yeah, maybe you two are so young, you might be into electric cars. But go on.
But to each their own. I like muscle cars. Like my dream car is
go on.
What is it? Eleanor from Gone in 60 seconds. I think it's a 1960.
9 Mustang fastback.
Yeah.
I know it, man.
It's
It's a
just
great
the sound of it and the look of it.
I love Fords. I'm a Ford guy. I know there's Chevy people out there, but I'm a Ford guy. And what about you,
Yeah,
Chris?
it's
What about
funny.
you, Chris? One sec. What about you, Chris? Sorry about that. Yeah.
What about the muscle cars?
Yeah, like, what about electric cars?
I
Yeah.
don't like electric cars. I don't like petrol. I like petrol.
You like petrol? Yeah, yeah.
That dinosaurs in my car.
Yeah, yeah. I think so. You like the fastback, you'd have a muscle car. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't need something flashy. Like, would it be cool to own a Lamborghini? Fuck yeah. Who wouldn't like to own one? But
I would have wanted to be electric,
like
but that's not the story going.
okay. But the thing is with like electric cars and stuff like that, it's the technological advancement that we're seeing with the electric side of like just cars and stuff in general that, there's, I mean, shit, we're now just starting to see a large influx in electric cars here in the States. I went in 2019, I went to Shanghai and Beijing.
Yeah.
That was majority electric cars over there. Other than like, yeah.
I think it just maybe that what you just said then. I feel with electric cars, they're a car if you don't care about cars. Hear me out. If you are a person that enjoys gadgets, enjoys the process of getting a bubble tea from your car on the way to the theater, on the way to the movies, that your car will give you a massage, your car will let you do a quiz show, your car will let you fucking however the Japanese like it, whatever they do, but you know what I mean? Like you get in your car and it gives you a bubble tea and you're sitting in this nice bubble tea. Have you heard of bubble teas or you haven't heard of bubble teas? You look a bit like, what is a bubble tea?
No, I know what it is. My wife likes it.
Okay. Well, the thing is,
but,
I feel electric cars are for drivers, meaning you can get in it and drive it, but all you care about is your getting to your destination. Where I love the drive to the destination. I love the feel of the car. I like the sound of the car. I like it when I've got control of the car. I think people with electric cars, which is a lot of people, they don't see the fuss in cars. Cars is just a tool. So it's just a tool. It's just like,
it's the same thing as somebody listening to music and playing music.
Yeah. Yeah.
Somebody who just likes listening to music, they like everything about it. And like, they like that it has this feature, this beat, this tempo, this, whatever that makes it appealing to them. But then you look at people who completely understand music theory, chord structure, and can actually see the beauty in what is that song or that beat or that, phrasing or whatever. That's people who actually enjoy the process. They enjoy the ride. So it's like somebody, it's almost like you get people with, motorcycles versus driving. Damn well somebody likes riding a motorcycle because they love just being outside and just fucking enjoying that ride.
Well, but the thing is, something you said about music, you can download an app on your computer, and you can create something half-assed and ask it to merge this and merge that, and then you can turn around to your girlfriend and go, "Look what I created," but it's not you. You just kind of telling her you're special. Well, that's what it is with a car. But when you literally no beats, no instruments, can bring electric with conventional, like you can the modernized cars with all the reverse cameras and all that. All right, we've got those, but we still love to drive the cars. We still like there's something about them. That's why I feel these cars, even when I've sat in them in an Uber, I just feel like I'm just sitting in a bathroom with tiles, and there's nothing here just to wash your face with and get the hell out. Like, you're not here getting, you're coming for a reason. You come to the bathroom for a reason and you leave. It's not a living room, where in a living room you've got all your little, your little comfort things. And a car is like that. You hop in your car, the ignition's on, you hear the motor, everything's the adjustment, and you're in control of it. Where an electric car is, we just sit in it, we drive it. It tells us everything. It's even got a map going at the right time. Like, the map's up and everything's going. It's just, I don't know. It's taken all the mystery away.
Yeah.
Anyway, so are we voting electric? And what about green? Do you reckon electric cars are really green?
No.
Yeah.
Either way, but I don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure they said that electric cars are doing more harm to the environment, the ecosystems, than the combustion engine is.
Well, just goes to show you, maybe Elon Musk, who's a great salesman, is just got to calm down a little bit. Do you know windmills? Windmills that they've created.
Yeah.
Did you know when they replace the actual fans on them? Do you know they just take them out to the jungle and dump them somewhere? Someone's got a private farm. The government pays him for them to dump them on his farm, but he doesn't know what to do with them because they don't know how to break them down. So those big fan things, when the government needs to change them or they've broken down, there's like a guy that owns acres and acres somewhere. I don't know if it was in Australia or in America or somewhere in the world. He said, I'll take them, pay me, I'll take them. They give him hundreds of thousands to take them. He's dumped them on his land, and he's taken camera crew there. And he said, I've had these things for 2 decades. I don't know what to do with them. They won't decompose. They won't break down. They won't even rust. Like, they're just sitting there like landfill. So I think we've got a problem, and maybe people should listen to this podcast. The answer, because 3 guys really know what they're talking about. All right. When did bodybuilding capture your attention? How old were you, mate?
I mean, probably right at the beginning of high school. Like, when I started listening to the motivational videos and stuff like that. So it was like when I started seeing some of the like bodybuilding videos, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I got with my first coach after I graduated. It was actually one of my friends, her brother, was my first coach. Super nice guy. And great human being too. But yeah, so he coached me my first 2 seasons, 2016, 2018.
Why did you need a coach, if you
Yeah.
don't mind me asking? Did you want to compete? Is that so you were locked in to go compete?
Yeah, I wanted to compete.
Okay. That's right.
So like I did wrestling from 8th grade all the way up to my senior year.
Mhm.
Placed 3rd at regionals. So yeah, but as far as that goes, like I did track all the way up till 11th grade, but like senior, it was wrestling and preparing myself for not only the military, because I had joined when I was 17, but also bodybuilding. So it's like I just primarily focused on like lifting, not like track and all this other stuff, like starting to put on solid muscle. And that's kind of where my focus shifted. And then after I got out of AIT, which is infantry, well, it's advanced individual training, but for me it was infantry
Tell
school.
us about military. What did you do? Tell us about military. Tell us about military.
I was infantry, so but as soon as I got out of that, that's when I went into my first prep. That's when I first started college, right?
Why did you get into military?
So I joined my 17th birthday, and part of the reason, of course, was like for college and stuff like that. Like I have a 4-year degree, but I don't have any student loans, right?
What'd you
But
study?
exercise sports science.
Okay, yep, go on.
Yep. So I what's the word I'm gonna say? I joined when I was 17, and majority of it, like I said, was for um like school, but
Yep.
it was also kind of like I felt like like family members of mine were also military, so that kind of played a role. But it was also like, I felt like I was meant to do something like higher. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Uh, like finding a higher meaning per se. Story short, military definitely wasn't for me.
Yeah.
Loved the experiences and stuff like that, but
Mhm.
once I got to my unit, I hated it. I hated everybody.
Yeah.
And then of course, like I have epilepsy.
Yeah,
So that's a
that's the next question.
whole, yeah, that we'll just say that's a clusterfuck, and that would probably take me talking about it for another hour to get through that. So
Mhm.
let's just say that's part of the reason why I had to get out, and that
Mhm.
was a big clusterfuck after I got out. But no, military, like, yeah, school, but also like, you know, family had done it, stuff like that. I had grandpas who were in World War II, Korean War. My dad was uh, in Afghanistan and Iraq.
But
So,
weren't they concerned on sending you to military to go to war in case there was deployment, or no, they thought that's
well,
that's
by
what
the by the
men
time
do?
I joined, yeah, I mean, by the time I joined, because I was in 2014, so they were. I was going through basic training and AIT, so I didn't really get to my unit till 2016. So
Yeah.
of course, I still had to go through the necessary training, and then of course, this is when they were slowly starting to calm things down per se.
Yeah.
Um, Up until like early 2020s. Um, but like if I would have stayed in, if I wouldn't have gotten discharged, my last year would have been 2020, and in 2020 they or the last year of my contract, 2020 is when they sent my unit that I was in on
Yeah.
deployment.
Where to?
So like
Where to?
I think they went to Afghanistan.
Mm.
A lot of it towards the end was just like peacekeeping. It's, like just finalizing stuff, tearing stuff down, and but they like I'm a strong believer that everything happens for a reason, and like I went through the stuff that I went through for a reason, or like I was stopped from going this route to go this route, and
Yeah. Yeah.
I would have been completely fucking miserable had things not turned out the way they did. But on the flip side of things, I do live with epilepsy, so I live in
Let's.
constant fear.
Yeah. Yeah. Tell me about. I've only. I don't know any. I knew one guy that had epilepsy when I was very young. We're talking about 3 decades ago. I was 18 years old. My first job. I think one of the workers there. He was a supervisor. Had epilepsy, and I think he had a seizure. So you've written something here, and I've got it's a lot written. So I'm probably not going to. But I'll tell you, you did a post, and you said, I want to address this as I had multiple people ask me if I was okay on Tuesday when I said I was at the neurologist getting an EEG scan done, or EEG. And then you started
Yep.
with, when I was about 7 years old, I suffered a mild traumatic brain injury. So go ahead, tell us about epilepsy. Go.
Yeah, so I mean, I could basically sum up that entire thing really quick.
Please do. Yeah.
So,
Oh no, no,
so
I'm happy to listen to it as much as you like, man. You tell me. I'm
yeah,
just leaving it to you. This is your podcast. Go for it.
yeah. So basically, when I was 7 years old, we were cleaning out my great grandma's apartment because she had just
Yeah.
passed away. So me being from Wisconsin, snow, winter, cool.
Yeah.
I'm running, like I went outside, I was running, floor was wet. I turned a corner, slipped, and I had an inch long gash in the back of my head because I hit a door hinge. Yeah. So for years, from age 7 all the way up till probably what? I want to say probably 15, 14, because I had to get cleared to get my driver's license.
Yeah.
But they said I had grown out of it, right? So basically, I had absence seizures for the early stages of my life when I hit my head. So this is long before they had the concussion rehab, post-concussion therapy and whatnot, before like that thing became huge. And so that was long before that. So basically, I would have 12, like, I think they said like there was anywhere from like 10, 12 up to like 100 plus a day. Where it's literally like, imagine like I'm sitting here talking to you and somebody just press pause. My head goes here, my hands start fidgeting, and then play. I have a story. My brother, we were sitting there, and this is when my mom's like, okay, yeah, we need to bring him in, because that's when they noticed. I was sitting there talking. I had a seizure, and my brother bitch slapped me 3 times. I did not feel a thing until after they press play. Right. So I had that. I grew out of it eventually, and they gave me the okay to go get my driver's license. Yada yada yada. They did say that there was a chance that I could have grand mal seizures in the future.
Yeah.
Roll around to getting in the military. Like I said, that's a whole fucking debacle. But let's just say, like, I had my first grand mal seizure at annual training. My first, like, so we have 1 week in a month. I was in the National Guard. We had 1 week in a month, 2 weeks in the summer, right?
Yeah.
And this was about 10 days after my first competition, right? So June 6th of 2016 is when I had my first grand mal. It was also my wife's birthday. But I was at training, right?
Yeah.
So I'm on, I have no idea what happened.
Yeah.
And, lo and behold, a year later, I get discharged. Like I said, whole fucking chaotic mess. Come to find out, it happened again. Like, I had a few seizures in between there, but it happened again after I competed in 2018. So I'm like, okay, well, there's a common theme here, because the first 2 seasons I competed, because I've competed in 3 different times, 2016, 2018, and 2022.
Yep.
I took 4 years off, right? And basically what happened is, every time that I would compete, if I ate like a belligerent asshole and just binged ate for days on ends, like I did the first 2 preps,
Yeah.
electrolyte imbalances, weight shot up. Basically, my body got pissed off and told me.
Are you talking about post comp?
Yeah. So I had seizures.
So it was the body didn't like the extreme change, and you going into the change, you didn't respect your body.
Yep. Yeah. So because I didn't respect my body did not respect me at all. It was like, nope.
The body does that.
Yeah. So basically, with that, we kind of figured, oh, hey, well, okay, it's definitely metabolic dysfunction. Well, not yeah. It was more so like just the massive jump in electrolytes, the water retention, just physical and mental stress that my body was going under, and it cracked. And it happened in 2018, except that time, it sucks because it was actually the weekend that I proposed to my wife. On our way back the next day, I had a seizure in the car. I wasn't driving, I was in the back seat. And then I had one 3 hours later. So that was the worst day that I've dealt with in regards to having a seizure, because those were 3 hours, or I had 3 hours apart. And essentially what happened was I had to physically teach myself how to phrase conversations. I could talk. I couldn't. This would have taken us probably 5 days, because
So,
I had to go sentence by sentence, and it, like, my brain would get so pissed off because it knew what it wanted to say, but I couldn't phrase the conversations and I couldn't get them out.
are you going through pain in it? And is there pain after it?
Like just physical pain or from a
Yeah.
seizure?
Yeah. Like, I
Oh
mean,
yeah,
it looks horrific, I guess,
yeah.
for someone watching it. But how are you? What's happening with you?
Well, so like the psychological stress, right? So,
So you're aware what's happening, but you can't stop it. Is that right?
oh hell no, no hell no. I
Oh,
have no idea what it's.
you blanked out.
Yeah,
You've left.
yeah. So sometimes what happens is people will see like an aura, like just like they'll feel something, and a lot of times that people say like they can see like an aura or something, like just visual changes.
Mm.
I've never had that. It's just like boom on the ground flopping like a fish, right?
Mm. How long
But
did they
um
take with I just say you can add to what you're saying.
um so they can basically, if you ever see somebody having a seizure, like a continuous seizure for longer than 5 minutes, that's where permanent brain damage starts to set in.
Oh,
Mine have all been right around 3 to 4 minutes, right? So having two in a day, 3 hours
yeah.
apart, I had to take off a semester and a half of college to completely, because I didn't have the extra money to pay for a speech therapist. So that mentally too was probably the darkest point of my life, just because I couldn't drive.
So unfair.
I was taken out of college for a semester and a half,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
But it lined up perfectly because me and my wife ended up graduating the same year or the same semester, because I would have graduated a semester before,
Mm.
right?
She
Um,
sounds like a great wife.
she is phenomenal. And she's been there. I mean, the last one I had was 2.5 years ago on that couch right there. And July 5th of this year will be 3 years, right? So it's been about 2.5.
Is
And that
there
one was
any
caused by physical stress.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
we
Is
went
it
on,
go on?
we went to SeaWorld. We went to SeaWorld, which has roller coasters. They have one called the Kraken. I don't want to ever go to SeaWorld again, because the next day I started getting a really bad headache, and I had the seizure the next day.
Oh, so do you think there's indicators? Are you playing in boundaries now? Are you setting boundaries?
Uh, well, yeah, I mean, like, of course, I don't really go to concerts at all, because like just the photosensitivity, which most people, you know,
Mm, yeah.
would associate with
Mm,
epilepsy, is like the photosensitivity.
mm.
Strobe lights, I'm okay with them, but I'm not going to take the chance of going to, like, because, like,
Of
don't get me wrong,
course.
I'd love to go to concerts and shit like that. There's music that I enjoy, but a lot of times that music is like if you're at a just a metal concert in general,
Yeah,
like I'd be hard pressed to say, like, if I were to, like, into EDM and shit like that, which,
yeah,
yeah, here and there, but like I'd be fucked.
yeah,
But
yeah.
like, oh, I want to go to a rave, but I can't because I have epilepsy.
Oh God,
But
it's like
it is what it is. But like, for sure, like, pain, yeah, like the pain is immense,
oh,
because like
sorry to hear that.
it's not like it's physical pain, but it's mental
Uh-huh.
pain as well,
Yeah,
because only people who have come out of a seizure can truly know how it feels,
yeah,
because it's like every single fucking thing that you could think would go wrong just went wrong, and now you're dealing with, oh fuck, where am I? What happened? Did I
sad.
hurt
Yeah.
something? Did
Yeah.
I like did I hurt someone?
Yeah, that too.
Right? All these different things, and then you're waking up in the hospital. Right? So it's like all these different things. Oh shit, I can't drive now. Oh fuck, I gotta do this. So it's like it's so much pressure coming down on you, and it's that I would say is the more difficult part than just the physical stress that you endure. Because imagine three to failure workouts, full body workouts in 3 minutes. Your
But the thing
body
is,
is
yeah, finished. It's
fucked.
finished. It's fucked. But the thing is,
Yeah. Well,
you've
and
also
then
got to reset yourself. You're resetting again.
yeah, because your body's like it's extremely pissed, and like the thing that people and I'll just for you know listeners, like if you ever encounter somebody having a seizure, do not put anything in their mouth. You try to open their mouth or keep them from swallowing their tongue, you will get a finger bitten off. Right?
Fuck.
I've seen it happen. So all you really got to do is place the person on their side.
Yeah.
If they piss, shit, puke, you see blood coming out their mouth, it's probably because they bit their tongue. It sucks. I know.
Yeah.
But if it happens, it happens. You hold them in a fetal position and just keep them from injuring themselves, and
call an ambulance
you
and
know.
just keep it safe. Yeah.
Yeah, but see, like the ambulance thing is questionable in certain cases. Now, if you're around somebody who knows that you have epilepsy, if it's longer than 5 minutes, yeah, call a fucking ambulance.
Oh, that's
But
what
if they know that you
that's
have,
the bit. That's the bit I was more concerned about is the brain damage.
yeah. So like, if I were to have one out in public with my wife, people would be like, "Oh, he has epilepsy. It's okay." Now, if I had like multiple back to back to back
Yeah,
or
yeah.
lasting longer, then yes, call the ambulance. So
Wow, I've learned so much about it. It kind of the bit that I mean saddens me is the reset. You go back like to developing yourself again. You have to work on yourself again. It's just unfair. You know what I mean? The rehabilitation you have to do. It's crazy. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the physical that's temporary. That a lot of that's just like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be sore. I'm healing from this like little bit of physical wound, or like I hit my shin. I have a permanent indent, but it's fine. But just because the muscle was fully like bruised, like deformed, right? I hit my shin on the table right there when I had that seizure. But it's the physical will heal, but the mental just fucking wreaks havoc on you. Like still to this day. So you probably noticed sometimes during the podcast, like I'll lose train of thought or like I'll spill my words a lot. Cause like my focus there, cause I'll be completely honest. There's been times where I was talking where I didn't even know what I was talking about. And then I was like, I really hope he says the question again. But like people wouldn't realize that like I deal with that on a day-to-day basis, is like because my verbal recall isn't the best, and my ability to comprehend conversations that
I think this is why we as humans have a bit of a problem in communicating. I think it's very important for you, especially I guess letting people know, because we're all motherfucking judgmental type people, but I do appreciate vulnerability. I do appreciate honesty, and I do appreciate people asking in a way to wingman them in some way. So like I said, on the podcast here ourselves, like I said, it's more of, like I said, I mean, you're actually the star here. Like, you might not believe it, but you are the front man of the band. Me and Chris just play the music, and we're just making you be the front man. So I think seeing that you've explained that a lot and wanting to find out just a bit more about you, I want to know, when did posing capture your attention? Like, we know you're a posing coach, but when was it when you went, I love this posing and I want to perfect it, and actually I want to teach it? So when was that moment?
That was definitely kicking more into like my 2018 prep.
Yeah.
Because this is my 6th year.
Yeah.
No, I think 7th year of coaching.
Yeah.
But mix between posing and just like contest prep coaching, lifestyle coaching. Anyways, it was definitely my 2018 prep for sure.
Yeah.
Because in my 2016 prep, like I went through the poses with my coach. I learned everything. There's some keys that I still use to this day.
Yeah.
But the thing is,
Mm.
I didn't get to do a routine
Mm.
for my first show. Or I think I did, but I just went out there and posed. I
Mm.
just because my coach was like, it's your first time. Just go out there, have fun, hit a few poses, do a quad stomp, slap the quad, like whatever. Just
Do a
have
Joe
fun.
Cutler. Do a Joe Cutler.
Hey, yeah. He's like, just go out and have fun, which I did. But like I was like, I really want to do a posing routine, and I ended up, I think, winning two. No, I think I won 2 Best Poser awards in 2018. The 2022 season, I did 1 show. They didn't have one, but I got the loudest applause from everybody.
Mm.
So I got lots of compliments, but I ended up placing 6 out of 7 because of my conditioning. So
What was which was your favorite competition in relation to competing bodybuilder?
probably my 2022 season.
Yeah.
Just that show, like it was accumulation of like 4 years of hard work.
Yep.
I'm gonna put probably more about 2.5 years,
Yep.
because trying to recover mentally and getting a good relationship with food again. So
Oh yeah, you're a fat kid, weren't you?
I was a fat kid. Yep.
I was a fat kid. I think he said he was a fat kid, and I said I was a fat kid. Were you a fat kid?
Yeah.
And I said to him, all right, so you still think you're the fat kid? He goes, yeah, okay, me too. It just doesn't leave us, does it, the motherfucker?
Yeah. But so
But what do
what
you
were we
mean?
just
Can I
talking
just ask
about?
it? But no, but I want to know, this is a serious topic or matter you just brought up. You had to get yourself back to a good relationship with food. What do you mean by that?
So like after the first 2 competitions, like I'd stated, I'd eaten like a belligerent asshole. That's the best way I can put it to people.
A
So I
lot of
just
people
binge
do
ate.
that. A lot of people do that, man.
Yeah, because then they feel like they have the liberty, the freeness to go binge eat like an asshole afterwards, because their prep is done, so they're gonna go enjoy, and then they end up over enjoying for too long, and then lo and behold, now 5 days later they're up 10 pounds,
But do you think
15 pounds.
they're always assholes anyway? It was just competition and the dieting that brought him into line. Like, meaning, I'll get again myself. I've fought with food and weight for 30 years, meaning not necessarily putting on weight. I did put on weight recently. That's due to medication, which I'm not on, which helps me come back to my natural physical self. But do you think that the problem is people use competition to fight off what they really are, and they firstly need to control what they really are and not use a comp that takes 18 weeks that you get into shape, but you never could do it without the comp. That's what I'm saying. I can get into comp body, not necessarily the body fat of complete the final week or the final day, but I can go comp body for 1 year and like at a summertime, and then not do comp body for 2 years and then do comp body again. Like I'm going for comp body now. I'm just letting you know. I've lost 17 kilos. I've got another 8 kilos to go, but I forgot for 2 years I'd put on 20 kilos. I actually, and I wore fat well, by the way, but I forgot that my legs did look good. I forgot my waistline. No, meaning I'm just telling you, I forgot that was there. And because I've lost 17 kilos, I'm actually more muscular. Like I'm looking at myself, I go, oh, fuck, I'm back. Like it's just, I need another 8 kilos, but I'm actually
it's just, it was hidden.
Yeah, it was just, but what I'm saying is, but people are going into comps that haven't got anything hidden, and the comp shows something, and then they go back to just being what they were. Like I just feel,
people use prep as a crutch.
Yes.
Right. And people who use prep as a crutch for motivation oftentimes do not last.
They don't last, no. Yeah. There's a good topic we just brought up. Yeah.
Yeah. But
with you, it was that you already knew you had a bad habit, but when you finished comp, you went DEFCON 1, didn't you? You just kind of you went up a bit.
Both seasons.
Yeah, but that taught you something.
What was it? Yeah, but 2022, like I was like, okay, we finally understood. Okay, this is what was causing.
Yes.
And I actually had another EEG done the Tuesday after my comp. That was on that Saturday. I didn't have a seizure. Right. So that basically they put strobe light right in front of you, and they monitor. They glue a lot of like different electrodes to your head, and essentially monitor brain activity. I didn't have any seizures.
Yeah.
But I also didn't eat like a belligerent asshole. Like
much better.
Yeah, I took my diet seriously, and I didn't have a seizure at all, and haven't had a seizure.
I also think
2.5 years.
I think, I don't know if people are going to like me, Chris or Jacob, but I think it's actually damning for people to finish a show and show you eat, 12 donuts or smash. I think you should just relax. Like that's not showing good sportsmanship in relation to people watching this. Like I don't know about you. I don't mind finishing a comp and getting, I guess, a spaghetti bolognese or grabbing ribs with great sauce on it, like because I haven't eaten it. But I could not just grab donuts and lamingtons and fucking croissants and smash this. It looks, I've done a 3-day fast. No, I did a 5-day fast once. I did a 5-day fast. I've done it all. Done a 5-day fast. I'll tell you what, on the 6th day, I did so well, but on the 6th day when I stopped, it stopped. I decided that I was going to eat 2 hamburgers and a shitload of hot chips. And let me tell you, I was on the floor of my bedroom in cramps. Like, what the fuck did I do? It just felt all that work was for nothing. All that work.
Well, you didn't break your fast properly either.
That's what I'm saying is I didn't come off my fast correctly. It meant coming off my fast was slow and steady. Take it easy, bro. Like don't have the chips, don't have that carbohydrate that's going to explode in your stomach. Like but that's what I'm saying is, do you think that some of the content people show when they finish comp, it's a little bit like, I don't think I see C-Bum maul himself into a kebab. I don't think I see C-Bum when he's not finishing off and grabbing a kebab and fries, but everybody's acting a bit stupid after a comp.
Yeah. I mean,
that's me. Yeah.
I mean, definitely, like, it's warranted. Like, go enjoy a meal, but like, my big thing is like, if you have another competition coming up, that's much different. But when you are dealing with, like, let's say it's season ender, you're done.
Yeah.
Go enjoy a meal, and then if let's say we have a few weeks, whatever, it's but like, have dinner the night of, have a light breakfast, and the rest of your meals are back on diet.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. But I
Right.
don't think, that's what I'm saying. That, and I got a feeling that's the amateurs in the sport that are pretending they're posing coaches, personal trainers, and competitors, where they just do a season and they just mix everything up as a season. Everything's, I guess, for the gram. Maybe it's for the gram. So tell me about, I don't know if we're going to have any friends by the end of this, Jacob, but let's just keep trying to see if we can rescore some friendships out there. Tell us about Posing Mentorship Program, okay? And this is what I want to know about it. Besides, you did quietly or a little bit touch on it. Explain to me queuing. I don't know what queuing is. Is that how you say it? Queuing. Queuing. The difference in categories, variations, and it seems like you're building a community and learning posing coaching out there at the moment. You had many coaches, posers join. How did you come up with this?
Well, I mean, we had touched on it earlier.
So tell me about queuing and categories and variations. There were some of the words I could carry.
So of course, like, my big thing when I'm teaching people is, like, it's not a one pose fits all sport. It's like there's, like I had stated earlier, with men's physique, there's like 5 different front poses that you can hit. So, okay, now we have to figure out all the different cues that work to get that person here. I could have 5 different cues for the same exact thing. Same movement, same goal that I'm trying to get that person to do. But there's only going to be 1 or 2 that stick. Right? So, like, there's you can, what's the phrase? There's a million ways to skin a cat.
Yep.
Where it's like, you can tell somebody or teach somebody like this way, but there's a loop around it, and then they get that. They understand that. Because like I've ran through like 3 different cues. I'm like, fuck, why isn't this working? And I try one of, okay, yeah, no, I get that now.
Can you give us the meaning of cue? What is cue? If I looked it up in the dictionary, cue means.
Well, like, it's just cueing somebody to do.
Is that like
right?
Is that cueing him? Let me say what I think it is, and you tell me if I'm wrong. Cueing is molding.
Yeah, in a sense, like I'm trying to cue that person. I'm trying to mold that person to hit
to a flow,
right?
Cueing like this person into getting to this point.
Yeah. It's cueing people to hit this to make sure that we reach the final goal. So it's like all the little steps to meet that goal. But then covering like different divisions, different classes. Of course, we got all the different variations. But like also working with different federations all over the world. I've worked with people in 6 different continents, multiple different federations all over the world. Beginner, of course, all the way to Olympians, as we've discussed. So there's so much different criteria in certain parts of the world than like just our NPC IFBB, right?
Well, you did an athlete in our own backyard. You did Lee Marie. Is that correct? For Misfit Australia.
Yeah. So her, and then there was I can't remember her name was Leah too. Hemingsworth.
I don't know, but
I don't know. She was from Australia though too. I think she was on Gold Coast.
Did you have to? So you have to critique different countries, different categories?
Well, it's all based off the criteria. So
you read the criteria of the country. You read the criteria of the competition that's run into
federation. Yes. Yeah. So each federation is going to have their own bylaws, their own criteria, what mandatory poses they want you to hit. Me, in my opinion, like NPC and IFBB is a standard when it comes to what poses should be in there. But like classic physique for NPC IFBB is, you know, you got your quarter turns, front double, rear double, side chest, ab and thigh, and your favorite classic. But then some like natural federations will want to throw in like, okay, a mandatory that you're going to hit is like a mantis pose, victory pose, you know, like making a vacuum mandatory. I'm like, not every motherfucker can hit a vacuum.
Okay.
Like, I understand it's classic, but allow it as a variation of a pose.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, don't make it mandatory, because then, I mean, oh, let's make the 3/4 twisting double bicep mandatory.
Yeah, I don't think the vacuum.
98% of people can't fucking hit an Arnold pose. They can't, because it's either like you hit it correctly or you're overreaching, or like just the way it's.
Or you look like.
But anyways,
or you look like you've pulled your back.
yeah, or you got fucking somebody stuck a thumb up your ass. Like what? Like, people don't. Yeah, it's just like people don't understand. Like, and that's where it's like, oh my God, this is actually hard. Like, the amount of, if I had a nickel for every time I fucking heard that from a client, I'd be rich.
Yeah. It does. I never thought it was hard, but it looks hard, and I can see the effort and the intensity and the holding of the pose. I don't know how you do it, but like I said, it looks like with this posing
mentorship.
Yeah, the posing mentorship
Prodigy
program.
Posing Academy.
Yeah. You've definitely creating community, team, trust, and building on, I think, what we spoke about before. If you want to take on posing, can we get it right? Can we work together to keep it growing with respect to the actual art? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I agree. And tell me something. If there was one pose that any bozo could just do and not fuck up, which one is it? If I said, give me one pose, I can go home and do it. And you'll nail it, Steve. Just like, which one?
Well, are we talking about like a classic pose?
Yeah. I'm talking about like most muscular, mantis, whatever it is. Whatever, I don't know. Just tell me like this one. I mean, we don't spend a lot of time on this. Everyone seems to nail it. It could be. You could tell me there's nothing. Just asking you. There's just little.
Well, no, there's. Sorry, say the question one more time.
All right. The question is, and I know it's pretty late where you are, and I appreciate everything you've done. Which one pose, if there was one, that you just can't fuck up? It's the meat and potatoes of posing.
Your front relax. It's the most important pose.
Which one's that? Which
like,
one?
If
front relax, is that with? Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah. That one. That one you cannot fuck up. Because especially if you do fuck that up, then you fuck up every other pose. Because your front relax is an extension of all your quarter turns.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, I'm going to be practicing so I look like I fuck it up. Yeah.
Yep. So when you nail that, then you understand like all your other quarter turns are just an extension of your front relax, because you can use a lot of what you do in the front relax to manipulate into your side and your rear, and also other poses.
Yeah. Okay. Tell me something, man. Do you have Asian in you? What is your look? You got fuck! It looked like you got upset at all.
Did you get that from my story that I put on?
No, okay. Because
I did a poll the other week.
Can I tell you something? Do you know from post? You know from post. Let's say there's 4 seasons in a year. You look different every fucking season, man. I don't know about you. You just wait a minute. Is that Jacob? And then I go, wait, is that Jacob? I need to look again. I need to zoom in. I go, that doesn't look like Jacob. Bro, are you what's going on? Is it Jacob now? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, one thing, I lost 30 pounds. So
yeah, right. But tell me something. Do you have
No.
European, indigenous?
Oh yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I'm asking you.
So long story short, no, I'm not Asian.
Okay.
I get that a lot. I have since I was a kid. I am
Yes.
primarily Norwegian and Swedish,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's
So
me too.
Nordic,
Yeah, Nordic.
right?
Yeah.
And a lot of times, Nordic individuals, specifically Norwegians, tend to have more of the fold, right?
Yeah.
It's even worse when I like smile too.
Yeah,
So
God,
like
when you smile, man, you look actually Korean.
yeah, the worst part is I've had people who are Asian who have literally asked if I was Asian, and I was like, oh my god.
Don't you have any
I'm like,
He does.
I'm like, fuck this. I gotta go and get like a ancestry test. I need to figure out.
I think you possibly do. But anyway, that was my
But
question.
like, yeah, no, I'm Basque, which is technically French, Spanish. It's right in between there. Primarily Norwegian, Swedish, and then I'm Bohemian. So technically Czechoslovakian, but Bohemians are specifically also known as
Did you do
gypsies.
ancestry.com?
I did.
You motherfuckers, all of you people that do this ancestry. Yeah, my daughter goes, I think my ex-wife did it, who's Australian. And oh my God, my daughter goes, Dad, I've got Irish in me. I've got African in me. I've got French in me. I go, Ruby, you're fucking Greek, because that's my background, right? Greek. I said, but if you're not completely Greek, you're 95% Greek and every other motherfucking thing that mum found on ancestry.com. Huh? Ancestry.com, you register on ancestry.com and then you put in your
They
details.
send you a kit.
They'll send you a kit. But to be honest, the same answer Jacob got, you'll get. We all get the same answer. We're all from the same place.
Yeah, except I have, like, we've had other people, and like my cousin,
Mhm.
second cousin, my dad's cousin, she's full blood Norwegian. So majority of our family is definitely Norwegian. But
Everyone's had to have come from somewhere. You know what's even funnier? You want me to tell you something? What I've realized? Even though Australia is predominantly was founded on indigenous Aboriginals, but apparently Aboriginals come from Africa. This is what I'm saying. Like this world and everyone claiming sovereignty, you're going to be surprised where everyone has basically planted themselves in this land. Like there is a place where everyone's come from and everyone's expanded, but it's not necessarily that they own the land, but everyone acts like, oh yeah, the Aboriginals just popped up here. They just popped up. Just there we are. Everyone's come from somewhere. It's amazing, this world that we live in. And I'm fascinated by it now. But yeah.
No, it's well, people don't realize, like, they did a massive, like, documentary on this, like, we all originate from Africa.
Yes.
But that's when the continents were much, much, much closer.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So
and people did build boats. I guess they weren't motorized. They found means in a way. They farmed. They did a lot of things.
exploration. I mean, Vikings, believe it or not, were some of the first to venture into North America.
Well,
like outside of the indigenous that were already there. So it's like that just shows you, like, they were here long before even, Columbus, like they were here a long fucking time ago.
Well, and think about this. I was telling Chris, you can go back centuries, thousands of years. There was never a word husband and wife. There was never a word of marriage certificates. There was never a word. It was very simplified. Everything was, I don't know what it was, but it seemed to have worked. Whatever was going on worked, because there was no money. There was no anything. What I'm alluding to is I mean, Hoff, whatever his name is, that did the what's it called when they went to that place in some Alps and they had that World Economic Forum, the World Economic Forum, and Hoffs, whatever his name, I don't know what his name is. He goes, everyone will be happy with nothing. You know, he's right. Thousands of years ago, everyone was happy when there was nothing. Like they've.
But world changes.
That's right, but that's what I'm saying. We can't have nothing because it will turn into greed.
Yeah.
All right, one more hot topic, and I did get ChatGPT. I'm just letting everybody know I did get ChatGPT to answer my question because I thought it's only fair because it's fair, and you have done military, okay? And please, I don't have, well, I do have an opinion on it, but I won't be too tough on it. I can't, and I did ask ChatGPT, and I'm going to give you its answer. So I can't ignore currently world events. I can't. And it's happening in front of our very eyes. So I asked ChatGPT, I said, ChatGPT, give us your view on what's happening between Palestine and Iraq. I mean, Israel. So I asked ChatGPT, and ChatGPT told me this. I don't have a personal view or opinions. The Israel-Palestine conflict is a complex and sensitive geopolitical issue with deep historical roots. It involves conflicting narratives, territorial disputes, and complex political, religious, and cultural dimensions. Understanding the perspective of both sides and prompting dialogue for a peaceful resolution is critical. That was pretty good by ChatGPT, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's neutral.
Yeah. So we're neutral on this, everyone?
I try not to get into stuff like that because.
All right, leave it to me and Chris. Chris,
Yeah, I'll go neutral. By the way.
are you neutral? Well, I did do a post. I did a post on TikTok about 3 days ago. I thought I had to. And this is what I said. All I said was, is this a fair fight? And is this a war? Because a fair fight is having tanks versus tanks, missiles versus missiles, planes versus planes, armor versus armor. I feel like it's one-sided. I feel like someone's got the good stuff and the other ones has got rocks and dust and dirt. Like, I don't know. I just don't feel like it's a war, because a war is like, if it's Russia versus America, I feel like Russia's coming with some great tanks. America's coming with some great tanks, and we're fighting great tanks, great military power, great jets, great this, great that, great nuclear. We're here. I feel like Israel's got all the goodies. That's what I feel. That's how I feel.
Yeah. I mean, everybody's going to have their resources and whatnot, but.
Well, I thought if I was ever going to bring it up, I'd bring it up on the podcast with you. All right, tell us.
Short-lived, because I try to stay out of stuff like that, because otherwise I'd be on yelling at people and stuff like that. I just don't have time for that.
All right, we're coming to the end now, but I wanted to ask one more question. I don't want to finish off on that more information bit, but I want to ask you, tell us something about you that you've never shared, that no family or friends or your wife knows, and you're happy today to share it with all of us.
I have no clue. I'm so tired, man.
Okay, I know we've killed you.
Stop scrolling. Do you want to score yourself $250 worth of Papa Macros meals? Now's your chance. Go to threeog.shop or
Go to Papa Macros and use the code MuscleTalks at checkout.
go get it now.
All right, we're going to go over the body, so I'm going to open up myself a Papa Macros meal, and I'm going to go over. I'm having the chimichurri steak lean, and we're going to go over the body. And all I want to get from you is one exercise, sets and reps. Is that okay? And then we'll finish up. Yeah.
You just want me to go over one exercise?
No. I'm gonna give you a body part.
Oh, gotcha.
One exercise. 1 sec. Is this hot? Let me just check something, man, because I'm not that good with hot. Oh, that seems okay. Oh, shit. I think it is hot. Well, too late for that. All right. Do you train? Do you train traps?
What'd you say?
Do you train traps?
Not directly, no.
Okay. Just give me 1 second. I'm coming back. I'm coming back. All right. You don't train traps. All right. Indirectly or directly, you don't. What about delts?
Yeah,
Front
well,
delt.
I train. I don't train traps directly, but like within my rowing movements and certain things like that. Delts.
Front delts.
I normally yeah. I mean, I know for delts, I normally just like hitting like dumbbell overhead press.
How many
So
sets
just
and
doing like a
reps?
seated dumbbell.
How many sets reps?
Most of my stuff tends to be right around 3 to 4 sets, about 8 to 12, 12 to 15 reps.
Okay.
Normally for everything. Sometimes if
Well,
I'm going a little heavier, 8 reps.
the reason I'm going to keep repeating the question is that Chris edits our podcast on socials and he creates little shorts and which helps people come and watch the podcast. So what about rear delts? What do you do for rear delts? Exercise?
Yeah, rear delts, I do like a cable rear delt fly. And I'll superset that with like a upright row.
Same
And then
thing.
I'll normally do like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, 3 to 4 sets. That'll tend to be a little bit higher rep, like 15, 12 to 15.
What about side delts?
I personally like dumbbell. I just like doing dumbbell lateral raises, but I like doing it mixed in with like partials. So going like 4 partial reps into a full rep, and then doing that for you know, again like 10 to 12 reps.
Back?
Well, if we're talking upper back, I like going more like a chest supported dumbbell row versus like if I'm training like a pull down. I really like going with like the Mag grip, close grip. I like those. Right around like those I tend to still stick with like 3 to 4. But I will keep those right around like 6, 8 to 10. Most of my stuff's gonna be there.
Okay. Chest?
Chest, my favorite is actually a seated chest fly with my back up against using a BOSU ball.
Oh yeah.
For extra stretch.
Yeah.
That I'll it's you get a good stretch.
I think that's what we don't do lately.
Yeah, sometimes you'll see people use like the rolling pad.
Yeah.
Same concept. But that I normally tend to do like 4 to 5 sets, and just nice and slow, right around 12 reps.
Nice. I like that. Don't surprise you. What about abs?
I normally, honestly, I really don't train abs that much. I genetically have a 10-pack. Not joking. But so I was always I was always gifted with that. But I like just doing like your normal kneeling cable crunch, except instead of using a rope, I use like a single grip.
Yeah.
And I just feel that works better. That I normally do 3 to 4 sets. I'll probably put that upwards of like 20 reps.
Oh wow. Yeah. Bicep?
I personally like doing. I don't like doing alternate.
Yeah.
So alternating. So for me, a lot of times, like I love doing hammer curls, dumbbell hammer
Oh
curls
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
with a 3-second eccentric.
Mhm.
Those I tend to uh, so 3 to 4, but a lot of times those would be like 12 to 15 reps.
All right. Tricep.
Tricep, ooh, that's a hard one. We have a weighted like dip machine. I
Yeah.
really like that one.
Dips. I like dips. Yeah.
And that, yeah. So it's a seated dip machine,
Mhm.
and that one tends to be right around 12 to 15, and I'll do that for 3 to 4.
Tell me something with dips. Is it close grip or wide grip? Because sometimes you can hit your chest with dips too. You know, you can do chest. So what is it? What
Well,
is the style?
that's based off torso positioning primarily.
What is
So
it?
if you're bent over more,
Yes.
that's when you're going to get more chest activation versus when you're more upright, then that's more tricep.
I'm
But
glad I asked that question.
I honestly, I can't do like body weight dips, stuff like that,
Mhm.
just because like my shoulders. But it's weird. I can do the dip machine perfectly fine. But if it's like body weight dips, my shoulders will not be happy.
How many sets and reps? Should got napkins for me, Chris.
So for that, again, normally 12 to 15.
No, we're good.
Yeah.
Okay, and I just thought I'd throw this in. I'm not sure if anyone does it anyway. I do actually. I do it, but maybe just I don't do sets and reps on this. I just give it a bit of a burn. Forearms. Do you train forearms?
Not directly.
No.
No.
That's right.
I
Most
should.
don't.
I should. But
I don't know.
yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah. Go on.
just grip. I mean, grip purposes. Like, I have decent forearms. Not nothing special, but like,
You do.
yeah.
I
I have really shitty grip though.
Quads.
Are we talking more like an isolated movement or just?
Your one that you like, one that you want people to hear about.
I mean, I if it's just quads, gotta hate them but love them. Split squats.
Oh yeah, split squats.
Yeah, I fucking hate them, but they feel good.
Mm.
It's a love-hate relationship. Those tend to do that. That's more so around 10 to 12. Probably stick those right around 3 sets. I'm guessing hamstrings next.
Next, yeah. Yep. You're the first one out. You've worked out the code, mate. You're ready for a podcast. I know.
God.
Jesus Christ. Chris, take this guy out.
I need to promote.
That's too much.
I need a promotion.
Yeah.
No, I prefer doing lion hamstring curls.
Sets reps?
That's what I prefer. Those I tend to go 12 to 15, about 4 sets.
Okay. All right. What's the next body part you reckon I'm going to say? Since you know it all, since you're the sensei.
Calves.
Fuck. I wrote calves. You're right. Okay, go for it.
Just your basic seated.
Seated, yeah.
Seated calf. Yeah, and then that I will normally try to keep 12 to 15, but I'll normally try to do 3 because my calves fatigue very easily. 3-second hold at the top, 3-second eccentric, 2-second hold at the bottom. Repeat that 12 times and you will hate your life.
Yeah. There's an element of patience when it comes to calves. If you don't have patience with calves, then you're never going to grow them. What do you reckon I'm asking next? He's not going to get this one, Chris. He's not going to get this one. He has to be watching our podcast. If he was watching our podcast, he'd know what I'm going to say next. Yeah. Yes. See. This is the difference between the men and the boys. I'm just letting you know that. But anyway,
is it adductors or abductors?
No, No, that's tibialis.
Tibialis anterior.
Yeah.
I guess I don't train that directly.
Okay, you don't. Well, I do. All right, and there's one more. And I want to ask
What?
you, when I ask you this question, do you feel like when the guys do this exercise, it's a little bit zesty? All right, it's a bit zesty. Glutes.
My favorite glute exercise, I mean, your basic, like just glute bridge machine.
Is that hip thrust?
So, or not, yeah, hip thrust, sorry.
Do you think?
Yeah, so
do you
just
think?
like,
Do you think guys should be doing that? Don't you think it's a little zesty?
no, I think it's, trust me, you ask most women, they like a nice ass on a guy. But I mean, at the end of the day, like, your glutes are your largest muscle in your body. So
I just feel that the hip thrust has been occupied, and it's you.
one
You
second.
can't hear me. Go again. Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. I'm gonna connect again.
Yeah. Yeah. Can you hear me now? Hello. Hello. Hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah. I think
Okay.
it just times out after a while.
Yeah, that's all right. Glutes. I mean, this is the last exercise. Don't you feel like the girls have occupied and own the hip thrusting machine? So when they move away and I go do it, don't you feel like, oh, that guy's a little zesty? Looks, I feel like it's not I don't know. That's how I feel.
Like, so many
Chris?
people think like, oh, hey, you
Oh,
shouldn't
Chris
do
loves it anyway.
the.
Chris isn't mine. Chris loves hip thrusters. He doesn't stop.
Yeah, there's nothing like getting a good juicy glute pump.
Mm.
Yeah, a lot of people feel that way about like doing adductors. It's the don't make eye contact exercise.
Oh, is it?
I feel that.
Which one? Abductor?
Yeah.
Oh, the abductor machine. That is super zesty. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's super
Yeah.
zesty. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
When you bend your back like that, that's super zesty. I think you're right. I think it's actually worse than hip thrusters. Yeah, you're right. You don't make eye contact with, but you know what, Sensei, you are right. Well, look, we're at the end of the podcast. This is your moment to promote yourself, my friend, and you've done a great job. It's probably 11 p.m. there right now, possibly. What is it?
11:03.
Yeah, we've done a good podcast, mate. So please tell us about you. Where can we find you? Tell us everything that people need to type in on their computer, on their phones to find you. Where can they do? Tell us more about you. Go.
So of course my Instagram is at the Real Posing Sensei with underscores between each of those.
Yep.
That's where I do most of my social media content.
Mhm.
I guess that's the only real one that I use. I don't do TikTok. I don't do my email will already be on there.
So everything's on there. So I guess no, that's all right. That's not
yeah, for the most part. Yeah, for the most part, like I don't like giving my phone number out.
no, we don't want your phone
my-
number, right? We don't want your phone number. We don't want to know that you
Yeah.
do the abductor machine, whatever it's called, whatever that machine is.
Yeah.
But tell me something. Are you on YouTube at all, or you're not on YouTube? I thought I'd just help you out. No?
Nope, just Instagram.
Well, let me say it's been an absolute pleasure. It's been a long one. I think we've broken some records, and I've noticed you yawn a couple of times. So I did keep dragging you in. I wasn't going to let you go. So you've done a great job. So I just want to say
it's about 2.5 hours.
I know. But like I said, I think you guys need to up. I think the Star Wars one, I think you guys need to possibly bring in Darth Maul and a few other characters into some kind of posing routine. I think we should not miss. Yeah. I think you, Pete, and Robbie need to come together and create some kind of Yeah, Star Wars synergy.
Yeah, that'd be epic.
Well, I want to say thank you, man.
Yeah, thank you for having me on.